Hey guys, welcome to Screenshots Casual Talk. Today I'm going to talk about Game of Thrones Season 4. Now, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones Season 4, do not watch this review because it contains spoilers. With that being said, so here are my opinions on Game of Thrones Season 4. Now, before we get into this review, I just want to point out that I have not yet seen Episode 10. If you're interested in knowing my opinions on Episode 10, just click the link below and you'll skip ahead straight to Episode 10. But until then, I'm going to be talking about Episode 1 to 9. So, what do I think of this season, of Season 4? Well, as you know, Season 3 was amazing, and if you've seen my Season 3 review, then you'll know how emotional I got watching that season. You know, it was really intense, great build-up to Episode 9, and the whole ordeal of the Starks versus Lannisters just being even stronger, and you're feeling it more, and it was amazing to watch a season like that. So, will Season 4 be as good? Well, we start off straight away in Episode 2 with Joffrey dying. Let's face it, when we saw Joffrey dying, we all were like, yay, he's dead, he can no longer be a dick anymore. He was such a dick. However, there is someone who is even more a dick than Joffrey. That name is George R.R. Martin, because you cannot enjoy Joffrey's death because the man who was appointed for murder was Tyrion Lannister, and Tyrion Lannister is basically everybody's favorite character. He is amazing. He is this guy who has full of emotions, full of morals, and he wants to do the right thing, but at the same time he wants to be a part of the Lannister family, and you have this ordeal going on, and the fact that his father and his sister are hateful people, they're full of hatred and want to see him dead, and you see all this happening throughout Season 4 even more because now Tyrion is appointed for murder, and that is awful. I want to enjoy Joffrey's death and I can't because Tyrion is being appointed for murder. That is awful. Awful, awful, awful. Still, Season 4 started out with a bang. It was awesome to see that. Great opening to Season 4. Then you have the whole thing, taking it slowly, seeing who is actually Tyrion's friends and not, and all that sort of thing. And then you get to Episode 6. Now, in Episode 6, you see some of the most beautiful things that you can see in film or shows or whatever. It is the reaction to Tyrion Lannister when he sees Shae entering the court and telling everyone that he is guilty, and she is totally lying, but she's pissed off at Tyrion because he sent her off to another city and called her just a whore. Really feel Tyrion like really getting really angry, you know? He just doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a care in the world, and he reacts the way that I, as a viewer, love the way that reacted. At the same time, I'm like, no, don't do this because you're probably gonna die. But then he did what he wanted. For the first time, he actually confronted his father and said, fuck you. Well, not those words, but in a way, it did provoke something really, really intense in that scene, saying that I did not kill Joffrey, but I wish I did. And the way he does it, the way his face just goes, I wish I did. That is awesome. And I love the fact that he says that he's being guilty of being a dwarf his whole life because his father and his sister don't love him because he is first a dwarf, and second, his mother died of childbirth, and everybody blames it on him except for Jaime Lannister. And that is so cool to watch this character, that he's done everything for them, he's done everything to save the city. In Season 2, this character trying to help everyone, and nobody gives a fuck about him because it's like, oh, but Joffrey's my son and I have to protect him. I know he's a dick, but Tyrion's a dwarf and he killed my mother in childbirth. It's like, fuck, you just get so angry. Listen to what Tyrion has to say. Kind of like he is the character of our generation in those times, in a way, because he just is so smart. He knows that killing people is bad, and he knows that people should protect people because they love them and not just hate them because they're a dwarf or because they're a slave or because they're a whore or because whatever. He has these awesome morals that he really wants to keep inside them, but he has a huge flaw, which is the fact that he wants to stay with the Lannisters and his family because he feels that he belongs there, and that is his biggest flaw, because if he didn't have that, he could have run away and have his own life and truly be happy, and maybe truly be happy with Shae, but he didn't choose that path, and Shae, she kind of had her revenge in that court scene in Episode 6, which is one of the best scenes. It's probably my second favorite scene of the whole Game of Thrones, because the one in Episode 9 in Season 3 is awesome, is the best, but the one in episode 6 is a really close second because just the way that Tyrion reacts when seeing Shay on the stand. That was amazing. I loved that. I really did. Probably if it weren't for that episode, I would have thought like season 4 was a bit not as good as season 3, because even though you had Joffrey dying in episode 2, you didn't have that much going on between episode 3 and 5, and only in episode 6 do things like really get really good again. And I was like, oh shit, that is awesome. So I love that part. I think Tyrion is one of the best characters, and if he does die in episode 10, it'll be a shame because he is one of those characters that you really want to see on screen. And I know George R.R. Martin, when he wrote this as a book, he didn't know that Peter Dinklage was going to be Tyrion Lannister, but at the same time, it's just, you really like this character a lot more than Robb Stark and Lady Catelyn and all those characters. I mean, you did like Robb Stark, of course, and the whole relationship that he had with his wife and Lady Catelyn Stark, and you wanted the Starks to win the war, but Tyrion Lannister is that character that you just want always to see in this show. And if he does die in episode 10, it'll be a shame because it will be very difficult to substitute a character like that in the following seasons. We have many characters in the beginning, and slowly they start dying, and you don't really have other characters filling their places. For example, Prince Oberyn in this season, supposedly guy that was becoming like a really important character. It was either going to be two things. It was going to be a build up to something entirely awesome and this awesome character, or it would be a build up to nothing, which it was what happened in episode 8. And I like that because you could sense that it doesn't make sense for him to win that battle. It would be too easy. And nothing is too easy in Game of Thrones. And he got cocky. He really wanted revenge for his sister, and because of that, he died in episode 8. And Tyrion is actually going to die probably in episode 10, unless something happens. But I don't think so. Hopefully, the character that does die in episode 10 is not Tyrion and Tywin, because if I remember correctly, Stannis Baratheon threw 3 leeches into the fire with the blood of a king, and it was Robb Stark, Prince Joffrey, and Tywin Lannister. And those 3 characters need to die for him to be king. So I'm guessing that's what's going to happen in episode 10, and that would be awesome. But if Tyrion dies, it'll be a fucking shame. Anyway, so before we get into episode 10, let's just talk about everything else from episode 1 to 9 with the other characters. Jon Snow. It was surprising. I was expecting him to die in episode 9, but I guess it was Ygritte. Dying is also kind of like something that was unexpected, so that was cool to watch. And Jon Snow gets to stay as a major character in the story. And we knew that Ygritte and Jon Snow were going to fight off each other in this season. The outcome was unexpected. I wasn't expecting Ygritte to die, and especially by the little kid. I guess he had his revenge. And it was a cool farewell to Ygritte. Sansa Stark, her storyline was cool, like her running away to Lord Peter Baelish, and the whole ordeal with her aunt, and Peter Baelish actually killing her aunt to be with Sansa. So you get to see Peter really fall in love with Lady Catelyn Stark's daughter, see how that develops. And you see Sansa for the first time lie properly, and that was also very interesting because you see her develop finally as a character. She was always very afraid, very in her own corner, and now she took that step forward and becoming more her own person. Arya, I really like her relationship with the Hound. She wanting to kill him is a bit too much. Arya should, he's been protecting her. She wouldn't be alive if it weren't for him, so her wanting to kill him is a bit too much in my opinion. Daenerys Targaryen and her decision in kicking out Jorah Mormont. I thought it was a bit stupid because he's done everything to protect her, and he was a spy in the beginning, but it's understandable. I mean, he had nothing to really follow Daenerys Targaryen. She didn't know him. He was there giving her advice, and he was being a spy to King Robert Baratheon. I mean, is that so? What the hell? I mean, it kind of makes sense. And the fact that he decided to be with her, that's more than enough proof that he really wants to help her. It was a bit stupid. I don't think she was very smart. She's sometimes a bit too impulsive. And think about what you're doing. Think about what he's done for you. He's done everything to protect you. Yes, he was a spy in the beginning, but then he did everything that he could to stop you from dying. He did everything. I felt like this time she was a bit too impulsive. I did not like that. We didn't see anything with Gendry. Stannis is crazy and wants to be king at all costs. But that's basically everything that I thought of season 4 until episode 9. Now, what do I think of episode 10? Stay tuned, because I'm going to go watch it right now. I'm going to tell you opinions right now. Yay! Yay! Yes! Oh, I hated that man so much. And to see Tyrion kill him like that, oh, that was amazing. To see Tywin on the toilet taking a shit and Tyrion there just killing him off. Yes, yay, yay, yay. I promise you, I did not know that was gonna happen. I haven't read any of the books and I've stayed away from spoilers throughout the entire time, and to see that happen, to see Tyrion kill Tywin like that, it was amazing. Yes. Oh, that felt so good to see that awesome man, Tyrion, one of the major characters of this show, killing the man who made him suffer throughout the entire show. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. If you've seen my season 3 review, then you'll know that I really wanted this to happen because it was the only way to kill Tywin that would actually give me the satisfaction. And it really did, you know, to see Tyrion. And he even kills off Shae, and to find out that Shae was working with Tywin, to hear her say, Tywin, my lion. Oh, that was awful to see Tyrion just kill them two. Yes, yes, they fucking deserve it. They fucking die. Yes, yes, this season was awesome because you see Joffrey dying, you see Tywin dying, and you see Shae dying. Yes. Also, I really, really like the Arya and the Hound thing. That was awesome to see Arya just look at the Hound dying and to see him begging for his death. Arya choosing not to. She's fucking evil. She's really evil because, you see, the thing is, I'm not really sure if she wasn't able to actually kill him because he did so much to protect her, but at the same time, it was a thing that he wanted. So if she actually liked him, then she would have killed him off. It was weird. I think it was more evil than good, but you could sense there was a bit of both when she was just looking at him with that very dead-eyed stare. It was really cool scene to watch, really, really cool, and to see her go to Bravos, that is awesome. So she's gonna probably see Jaqen in season 5. So also Bran meeting the three-eyed raven, that was cool. The whole thing about him flying, we'll see what happens. Jojen dying was a shame, but when that scene happened, you could tell that one of the characters was going to die. It was a shame that Jojen died because he was a really cool character and he was the guy that made Bran develop even more, so that was awesome too. Stannis and Ser Davos raiding Mance Raider's army, that was also very cool to watch. And Jon Snow finally meeting Stannis, that was also cool to watch because Stannis really respects Ned Stark, so of course he also respects Jon Snow. And to see Jon Snow do the farewell to Ygritte, that was also cool, burning her, a really cool farewell. But yeah, that was... And Daenerys Targaryen locking her dragons in the chambers because one of them flew away and is actually killing people, that was also tough to watch. So we'll see how that turns out in the future, if the dragons go against her or not. Awesome episode, great way to finish this season. It went out with a bang to see Tyrion do those things. Yes, awesome. Really enjoyed this season. I'm really looking forward to season 5, and for the first time I'm gonna wait a year to watch Game of Thrones, so see how that turns out. But yeah, these were my opinions of season 4. Hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm really looking forward to read your comments below, and please do comment because I really want to discuss the season with you guys. And remember, do not spoil anything. I have not read any of the books. I've only watched the show, so don't spoil anything for any of the other guys who haven't watched season 4 yet. As you can see, I have Game of Thrones season reviews right here, season 3, season 2, and season 1. Also, check out my Facebook page, my Twitter page, and my blog, and I'll see you guys in the future. And remember, Jon Snow knows nothing.